Said 5.
Yeah, I want to get rid of those numbers so you can't see when I hit the record button. So you're like, is it it's recording? We're recording right now. Yes, we're recording. All right.
Oh man. So what are we going to talk about?
Not economics and not Adam Smith. I really like the way your the logo on your jumper has come out. It looks really, really good. The black
Thank you.
background and the what is it? She lifted heavily ever
Well,
after.
it's backwards, right? And she lifted heavily ever after. I made it because my
Oh,
friend.
of course. So I shouldn't be able to read that, or
No, you should.
is
It's
the
just I
camera?
don't know.
Yeah.
My camera made it backwards for
Oh,
some
your
reason.
camera's reversing, and I've gone. Mine looks fine. Like, what's going on with the cameras?
Oh, it looks good on your side. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. It looks like on the what I'm looking at on the screen. It looks really good.
Oh,
It's
good.
great.
Okay.
I love the coloring. It's so cool.
Thank you. It's very me, isn't it? My friend
It
was
is.
showing. Um, she had this shirt that said, "And she lifted heavily ever after," and there was this image that I didn't like in the middle. So
Uh-huh.
then I started Googling the shirt because so many people have made this into some sort of shirt. And I was like, I don't like any of these. And then I was like, oh, I have really cool things I've drawn. I'll just put one of my things.
I can do better than this.
What I like. I could do that now. Technology, you know? So I did.
Isn't that like most art and innovation? It's meant to come from that. Like, just make what you like and put it out there.
Yeah, I think that's the cool thing about right now. Like, as much as stuff kind of sucks with like social media and just weird internet things, like that is a cool
Mm,
thing, you know? Like you can make anything you want. And I think people forget that because we're so used to consuming things. And
yeah,
we don't
right.
and like making things takes time and patience and trial and error, you know? Can be
And
frustrating.
you end up making things that you don't like everything you make either, do you?
I think yeah, I don't like everything that I make, no. But I think generally I actually do like a lot of the stuff that I make. But I've been considered, I think it's because I've kind of, you know, when you're little and people say you're good at something, so then your whole life you believe you're good at it.
Oh, right. How you go? Oh, you're the artist of the family or something like that.
Yeah, like there's all
Uh,
of these. I mean, at least those beliefs were good. Those ones that were instilled, you know,
right.
got
That was
something good
helpful.
out of it.
I think that
Um,
helped.
yeah, like so when I was 4, I remember actually, I think 4 or 5, whatever kindergarten is. I remember making the nativity scene for our program, for our nativity play or something.
Mm.
And I actually remember looking at it and people commenting and, oh, this looks like, because I could draw for better than most kids, I guess, whatever. And then my name is Theresia. I'm named after my grandmother, and she was an artist. So then it was all, oh, you're an artist, just like you know, like whatever, filling my head with all these ideas of what an artist. But then I never went to art school because I chickened out. So whatever. I guess it wasn't that instilled in me. So
Wow. So there's a couple of bits there. I like that thing of people telling you, "Oh, this is what you are," because we named you, and the power of your name means that this is, we've cast a spell on you with the word Theresia. It's
right,
actually it's ancient German for "she will be good at art." Whether she likes it or not, she has to be good at it. We called her it. That's it now.
right, right. It's a lot of pressure, you know, for a kid
It is.
to feel like they need to be. I think maybe that's why I didn't do it like uh going into college or whatever. Like for declaring that my major, I guess it felt like too much pressure, I think, to like make something out of it and do something.
Oh, like the pressure, like, oh, I'm carrying like several generations of family legacy now. I'm gonna have to be good at this thing.
Right, like, I'm gonna have to be the artist or
Right,
whatever, I was like, "I don't know if
right.
I could do that, I can't do that." I think
It sounds like by the start of college, the perfectionism drive was already pretty high.
I call it the curse of the good student.
Ye- I like that. The curse of the good student.
Mhm.
Okay, I
Yeah.
can. Yeah, I'm thinking of a few different ways that can go. Like, tell me more. I
Mm,
want to hear more about that.
so, the good student, you get approved of and, you know, you get, awarded and whatever for doing exactly what someone says to do.
Right. So the
And
teacher's
and
constantly saying, "Oh, you're so good, Theresia. Good job. Well done. You're such a good student. You're
right.
like all of those. Lots of identity words in there as well.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
and
Yeah.
so
Okay.
with art, though, it's super subjective unless you're doing realism where, "Oh, this looks like that apple." And even with that, you could say, "Oh, this apple isn't expressive enough," or, "You didn't quite capture the sadness. This apple is
you didn't.
whatever,"
You
like,
didn't capture
whatever.
the emotional essence of an apple.
Whatever,
Yeah,
So
that apple is obviously a little miffed and has a morbid fascination with death. And you drew just an apple that looks like an apple. Like, what are you doing?
yeah, there's, like, absolutely no emotion in this apple whatsoever, like, you suck, whatever. So, I think for me, it was difficult because I didn't like getting graded or on my art because it was what I wanted to do, so, like, how can
Oh,
you grade
okay.
me
That
on this?
Yeah, it'd be
Um,
constant like grading you as a person at that point.
in a way, yeah,
In a
so I
way,
thought
yeah.
yeah, so it's much harder to be perfect at art, I think, because you're so, 1 plus 1 is 2, or according to that woman, sometimes it's not 2, but whatever. Um, the mindful body person, or do you remember who I'm talking about? I'll have to find her name, I can't remember it now. She's,
Is that one of the many reels you send me about neuroscience going, this sounds
no,
like rubbish?
it was the book that you liked. You actually liked her. She talked about, I think her book is called Mindful Body, and how your mind affects your body and what you think affects. And there's just so many
Oh,
different perspectives
yeah.
that you can take
Yes.
on a situation that, like, you just it really perspective
Yep.
matters or whatever.
I remember
Okay,
the one.
so
Yep. Good book. Yep.
it was a good book, yeah. So anyway, like, 1 plus 1 is 2, right? Or whatever, and this equation, so for when you're doing math or whatever, you have a clear, "This is the answer" thing.
Hmm.
And I think with art, sometimes there really isn't a clear answer, or maybe you've got the answer and the person grading you isn't the right person grading, or the person you're presenting to isn't the right person to present to. There's so many factors that go
Hmm.
into making art, and just, I think with so Andy Warhol, the guy
Yep.
who, like, did the soup cans and whatever.
Pop art.
um yeah, so
And he didn't even
I
do half his art. Most of his work was done by other people.
yeah, and so I think he was proving the point that if you had a cool enough or whatever enough personality and people just thought you were super cool, you could make whatever you wanted and be an artist. So then there's that aspect of it too, and it's like, there's so many aspects to it that are so much about self-authorship and self-identity that I just didn't have at that time,
Oh,
that I
yeah.
couldn't
Okay.
really work with, because my self-identity was so dependent on my approval of what other people thought, like other people's approval of me,
Hmm.
that it's very difficult to create. It's difficult to create art
Yeah.
when you're constantly looking for approval from everyone.
So then
Like,
becoming an accountant, that makes so much sense. You
yeah,
go
in
from
my
something
mind,
that's like it's very logical, concrete. It is exactly what it is. The numbers add, like it's all spreadsheets and columns, right? It's very objective. There's
So
no
then,
subjectivity there.
I mean, so my brain is kind of funny too, right? So
Really,
I have my,
really, I really,
you
your
didn't
brain's
notice.
funny.
You haven't noticed.
Wow. Okay then. Sure.
How quirky I am. So quirky. No,
See,
but
this is apparently this is the appeal of having you on the podcast. Is like there is in a 90-minute podcast, there's like about 30 minutes of just you as a laugh track, just having fun. It's really nice.
there, there
I
you
see why
go.
I see why people like it. It's fun to listen to you laugh.
Well, this is funny then. Here you go.
All right.
I don't know how to unblurry myself. So,
It'll unblur eventually,
okay.
and the final recording it'll be fine.
Okay. So I have my master's in taxation, actually. So you can either get your master's in audit, which is like
Mm-hmm.
what everybody hates because, if you get audited, that sucks. Bless you. See, it's true. Remember?
See, that's how much I don't like auditing. It made me sneeze on the other side of the world when you just mentioned it. Ah, my God.
Right. So anyway, tax is actually kind of interesting. And I had a great professor in college, and she was so cool. And I thought, oh, she's really cool. And like this, she makes this sound really interesting and fun in a weird way. So
Uh-huh.
she would always say, so for tax, sometimes the laws are what they are and sometimes they're not. Like she would always go, so what's the answer to this question? And then the whole class would go, it depends, because we needed more information.
So she was priming you for neuro. It
She really
depends.
was, right?
Yeah.
And for my job right now in general, this is really bugging me. So
Is it just not like, do you have to put your hand up to so it finds you or something? Is that the
something maybe, yeah,
oh that
I don't know.
oh unblurred for a
Whatever.
second.
I'm gonna just keep doing that. So I'll keep talking with my fist in there. It's so annoying. Oh,
Oh,
there
there
we
we go.
go.
Oh, you're
Okay,
back.
I'm back.
Hey.
Awesome.
For everyone listening, they're just gonna go, what are they talking about?
What
And
are
then all
they
the YouTube
doing?
people are just going, oh, finally they worked it out. That was frustrating.
So annoying. Um, so this was really interesting. But when I was in school, uh, there was this law in the United States that there was going to be no estate tax for this particular year, which
Right.
meant that some families had this really moral dilemma of, do we take Nana off life support this year?
Oh my God. Let's knock off Granddad. Come on,
Like,
let's.
his pop-up suffered enough on their life support. Maybe we should just let him go.
Can you imagine how bad it would get? Those like Granddad. Oh, Granddad, you don't sound good. Come on. All right. It's a bad cough you got there.
Like
it's,
lots of older people falling
it's
down the
December
stairs
20.
that year.
It's December 28. Granddad, how you feeling? Come on.
You gotta make the cutoff, you know. It was so when
Hey,
people, yeah,
New Year's
so
Eve, Nana. Come on. What are your plans for next year? Like you got much on?
right? Like, isn't that
Any?
interesting?
Yeah. Oh wow. That is.
So I
Yeah.
thought, oh wow, that's like that's kind of interesting. Maybe I could dig this tax thing. Maybe I could get
Mm-hmm.
into it. Um, I didn't, but I mean, I ended up getting a really great job out of college, and then quitting after 6 months because I realized I was going to probably die if I stayed in that job. It's funny, but it's not funny, but it's funny.
It's, like I think it's one of those ones. It's 15. Like it's 15 years later. Funny, isn't it?
Yeah, about 15
Yeah.
years. I mean, it got funny about 3 or 4 years ago, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. So it's fun. It's fun. Like it's one of those jokes that it's like, oh no, the punchline's great. Just wait for a decade. It's awesome. you'll laugh.
It's been
So
funny for a bit, so it's okay now. But, it was not funny. It was also not funny when I got kicked out of my house for quitting accounting and then becoming a personal trainer. Did you know? You knew that, I think.
I
Yeah.
knew that. Yeah,
But now I think it's kind of
that's
funny.
that's around the time that we met.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were like trying to help me not cry all the time, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
The good old days. I mean, my crying has gotten a lot better, I have to say. Like, I just don't do it as much, you know? Just got so much more capacity for feelings. It's really
Yeah,
great.
you actually get to feel the actual emotion, not just the feeling of overwhelmed by an emotion,
Oh, yeah.
which is the crying, isn't it? It's just being completely overwhelmed by what you're experiencing inside, and so you don't actually get to experience the inside bit if you're too busy crying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just, I think it's actually it helped me become even more sensitive because I can go more now into whatever the thing is instead of
Mm-hmm.
having to stop and blow my nose or,
Just give me 10 minutes. I'll be back. Like, we'll get
I'll be
there.
back.
Don't worry, we'll get there. It's like, I just have a lot of mucus in my sinuses right now. I need to clear that out. Then I'm good to go.
Need to
I
clear
assure
this
you.
out before we can get going. But it's been a thing, so it's been fun. It's been fun. That's like
It's been
what?
fun.
I don't know if it's been. I mean, some parts have been fun. I don't know. It's whatever.
I get what you're saying there. Like when you have to look back over an entire journey like yours, that has like it's more than a roller coaster, really. You go, oh, I've got to come up with one word to describe this whole experience. Sure, sure, okay. Oh, fine. Let's call it fun then.
F word.
Let's
Fun.
go with fun. Because of course, when you pick out the individual bits of going, no, it's been a very rewarding experience over the journey. They're going, which bits exactly go on? Was it when this really awful thing happened? Well, no, that wasn't that rewarding. What about this bit? Nah, not rewarding. This bit here, that was devastating. So how does all this not rewarding and devastating add up to fun? Like, how do you get there?
Oh man, you know what though? What I think is fun for me is being me. I think that's the most fun
Yes.
thing. So I would say along
I'm
this,
with you on that one. I'm with you on that one. Because
you know,
I think that's how you get those devastating things because they've smashed away something that was stopping you from being you. They kind of do become rewarding and fun.
yeah. So in that way, I mean, okay. So what's the alternative, right? You
Just
know,
label everything as miserable and terrible and life is sad and awful and we should all listen to The Cure and wear black clothes. Oh, we could do that. I remember
yeah,
the art students in the 80s and 90s really enjoyed doing that.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that was also the appeal of what's cool about art school is everyone is super. It's not everyone, but many people are super weird. So it's fun. You're just like, oh yeah, it's cool to be weird in art school. It's
Yeah.
really cool to be weird.
Do
But
you get kind of what's the word, suspicious of groups where everybody kind of looks the same? Oh dear me, what have we done here?
all right, so this is sometimes I wonder this. Okay,
Oh dear.
at the gym that I go to, I love the gym that I go to, and I think at gyms, right now, there are these pants that are in, I think, where the crease of the pants go in the woman's butt so that you can really see her butt.
Oh yeah,
And
what do they call it? Filleted or something? It's like that. Yeah,
I don't know.
I know.
I don't know. but many people wear them. Okay,
The
and
wedgie pants,
yeah,
wedgie
like that.
tights.
And
Yeah.
the first time I saw them, I think I didn't go for a gym for so long because of the pandemic and whatever, and I just did a lot of stuff at home, so I
Hmm.
hadn't been to the gym for a bit. So it was like I was like one day me and Jeremy were at the gym and I'm like, does that girl know her pants are like in her butt? He's like, that's the style. And I was like, no,
Yeah.
really? And he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, where have you been? And I'm like, I guess not at the gym, right? So so I'm just like, oh, really? Like that looks really uncomfortable, you know? And so anyway, when you ask me that, does it like do I get suspicious when everyone's wearing the same thing? Um, like I wear skirts and I wear like my own shorts to the gym that don't have like the wedgie thing going on and whatever. But sometimes I wonder, would I like those if everyone was wearing skirts? Like if, like would I still be wearing skirts if everyone else was? Like do I just have this like not wanting to just but then I thought about it and I was like, I don't really think like I want to wear those. I don't know. Sometimes I get like that too. I'm like, do I not want to do this because everyone else is doing it, or do I not, like whatever.
Mm. It's a good
So
question, though. It's a really good question. Have you gone out and then bought yourself a pair of the wedgie pants to try? Do I like this?
I thought about it and then I was like, but I like my skirts. I think they're cute. So it's not like I don't like them and I'm wearing them because I hate them and I just want to be different.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I don't know. I'll see. Plus, I just find that uncomfortable, I think. But I've never tried it. Maybe it isn't uncomfortable. I don't know. Um, I don't know.
Who
This is
knows?
such a
Yeah.
dilemma for me these days.
I'm a really big fan of the videos where you show yourself deadlifting in a skirt, because it is so striking. Like you just never see videos of people deadlifting in skirts. I'm like, oh wow, that's really cool. Someone did a very well. It's just seeing somebody that doesn't look like everybody else doing something that everyone does every day.
You
It's
know what?
for me. It's cool to watch. It's like, oh, cool.
Well,
Therezia's doing
thanks.
her thing again.
But I have to say, that's actually what happened with the skirts. I don't know if you know this, but Jeremy actually went to the Fashion Institute of Technology, which
Really, you've never
is
told me that.
a good school for
Mm-hmm.
fashion in New York. And so he has like this really good fashion sense. And actually, he's the one who bought me these. So I just wear
Aye,
them.
good work. Well, in that
I
case,
don't
if you
even
could
take
just
credit for it.
if you could just get out of the chair, call Jeremy over, and Jeremy and I will continue this conversation.
Right? So it's kind of funny because I gained like 20 pounds when we moved over here, and really the only things that were like fitting me were those skirts. So I was like, well, I
Oh,
guess this
it's my
is what I'm
training gear.
wearing to the gym. So
Wow.
I can't really take so much credit for my fashion choices, except for this. I did make this.
You,
So,
you made that. You made that. And so that's an interesting segue then. I'm glad you did that. So the 20 pounds is kind of what got you started on this journey of creating, right? Like that was one of the catalysts.
yes. So I was having a hard time because I stepped on the scale and I thought it was broken. Because I was like, whoa, like, you have to write like how much you weigh on your license out here in Arizona, which is kind of interesting.
Really?
Yeah. So I
That's
wrote
so
down,
that's so weird. I
yeah,
don't
it's really
why?
weird. I don't know. So whatever, I wrote down 100. I don't care. So I wrote down 140 pounds because I thought that's what I was.
Right.
And then, I was like, oh, let me, when I got home, I stepped on the scale just to like, I don't know, whatever. And so we moved, from New York to Arizona, which is like 3,000 miles about. And I thought, oh, this poor scale got broken in the move. It didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
So Jeremy hops on the scale and he's like, nope, it's not broken. And I was like, Oh,
Oh no!
what am I gonna do? What do I do now?
Oh, that's and because I'm guessing Jeremy's been the same body weight for like the last 25 years, hasn't he?
You
He's,
know, he
he's
has
probably body fat. His body fat probably fluctuates by 2 or 3 percentage points.
you know, he also struggled too. He had a
Really,
similar situation. He just
really,
knew.
I
He just wasn't with his head in the sand about it like I was.
right.
He was very much like, nope, this is it. We're both where we're at, and that's what
Okay,
happened.
okay.
Uh, so yeah, so
Oh,
I was really struggling because I was like, oh God, you know, like, am I gonna? Do I try to lose weight? You know, like,
hmm
what do I do? And I wrote this whole. I'm really glad that I took Healthy Boundaries for Kind People with Randy Buckley, because her whole program, if you want to call it a program, is about self-authorship and like
hmm
your building your identity and who you are really, you know. Um, and so I got so lost in body stuff over the years, whether it was from like disordered eating that I was doing when I was like teenager, early 20s thing, and I was like a size 0, which my body would really shouldn't be a size 0. I was 108 pounds at one point, which was not good. And
So what's that in? What I'm just trying to do the quick conversion. So that's less than 50 kilos.
probably, I think you guys are like,
Let me.
I don't know how. I'm sorry, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, divide. It's divided by 2.2. I'm doing it right
I
now.
just asked. I asked Google, what
49,
is this?
49 kilo. Yeah, 49 kilos. That's what I thought. That's wow.
Yeah, so I was
For
pretty
somebody your height, that's really scary and high winds.
yeah, but it was funny because everyone told me how great I looked. Death looks good on you.
Ah,
You
so
know?
so I'm gonna guess that's the late 90s, early to mid 2000s. If people are
It was, yeah, between like 2004 and like 2010-ish.
yeah,
Like I was going through that, you know,
yeah,
from
yeah,
from
that sounds like that was the messaging everywhere, wasn't it? Like everything was just be skinnier. Oh my god, that was the era of the thigh gap, wasn't it?
you know,
Like like getting
yeah,
so like the look was so skinny that was actually a word that people were using, and to me that just I don't know, that was like super unhealthy, just
you
super
know,
unhealthy.
it's interesting because for me, those things weren't really it. Like
Right.
I I grew up with quite skinny friends who just
hmm
were naturally skinny. So they had like blondish hair or straight hair. You know, I was just not them in so many ways. Like with the
Yep.
coloring of my hair, the curls of my hair, with my weight, whatever. I just wasn't them at all. And I just wanted to be them actually, these
Right.
girls.
Yep.
So for me it was just more, how can I be more like this girl? Because she's the pretty one and she's whatever, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, I remember when I was in second grade, I was in ballet class, and I was looking in the mirror, and I just saw how all the girls around me were so skinny, and that might not have even been true. There might have been another girl that looked like me, but I didn't see that girl. I just saw the really skinny ones, and I just didn't want to go back. And nobody, none of
Wow.
the girls made fun of me or anything. Like it was like a family kind of thing. But anyway, so for me, anyway, before we don't have to go
And
into psychology of all, but yeah,
anyway, moving on from my deep childhood trauma about body image. So we're doing this other thing. This then blah blah blah.
so um, so for me, it was more like I just wanted to be like I wanted to fit in, you know, like I really did.
Mm.
Um, and I fit in so well. Let me tell you, I was skinny.
Yeah. I
I'm
could fit.
getting,
I
I
could
straight,
fit into anything.
I could
I
fit
could
into
fit
anything.
in. I
I
can fit
straightened
into
my
kids'
hair.
clothes.
Yeah.
No way. You had straight hair.
You never knew me with straight hair? Oh, that's
I,
funny.
I don't. So what? We met like 2013.
Yeah, and I think at that point I may have still been messing with my hair. Like it may have been wavy or something, but it was not like this curly. Because I was still treating it with stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember now.
Yeah.
When I like if when I get a mental anytime I get a mental image of you, it's with curly hair. It's like this.
Yeah.
It's like I see you today. I don't. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so my hair took a bit longer. I think like 2016. I started to there was these two women, Jana, my friend
Yeah.
Jana, she had really
Hmm.
curly hair, and this other friend Megan, she has really curly red hair. Her hair is really cool.
Hmm.
Um, and so they just like embraced their curls and they like, did their thing and kind of like inspired me to like do my hair, like, just let it do its thing. So, yeah, so I think that was really helpful to like sometimes you need to just see someone who's kind of like you, just being them, and then you can kind of be you in your way that's like them, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? So anyway,
Or
back to my
authentic. I think that the genuine, like that, authentically being comfortable with who you are is always attractive, and
Mhm,
we're drawn. I think we're drawn to it as humans, and whether it's and it's not you know not sexual or anything like that, but we want to be with those people. I think like you see
mhm.
someone that's just comfortable with themselves. I think they're naturally attractive, and there's something inviting about that person.
Yeah, and I think with that too, it's like if they um will if that encourages you to not be like them but to be more like you, then that's even cooler. Like
That's yeah,
right.
yeah.
So that's fun. So then okay, so I had my like two skinny days, like when I was too skinny. And then
No, so TOO, not TWO. So there were
oh
more
right,
two. There were more
right.
than 2 days when you were skinny.
Yes. A lot
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
Yep.
There's like 4 or 5 at least.
At least 4 or 5 when they're too skinny. Um, it's funny too because I got too skinny again in more recent years, like doing like healing protocols and stuff. So I call that
Hmm.
like my disordered healing stages,
Yeah. Okay. That makes
where
sense.
where I just wanted to be so perfectly healed. So that abusive relationships wouldn't bother me anymore.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because, if abuse is bothering you, you're the problem, right?
Yeah. Just get to the point where you're so super spiritual that all abuse just rolls off you. Water off a duck's back, and
Oh
you're
yeah.
just completely zen. And equanimity is your most common state of being.
Yes, exactly.
But unfortunately, it doesn't work like that, does it?
No, it just is so disordered. It's just
Hmm.
taking this
Just
level of control to it's like you're still trying to have control over a situation, but this time it's like under the guise of health and wellness instead of, eating too little or whatever. Um,
yeah.
so I was pretty concerned because I had an issue. Like I was 20 pounds over what I had put on my license. So that's quite a bit of weight.
In
Um,
Arizona, I'm imagining. I know this would never happen. I just love to see a policeman, pull you over on the highway. Ma'am, step out of the car. Can you stand on these scales? All right, we're gonna have to. You're 20. You're 20 over what you say on your license. We're gonna have to take you in. You just
okay,
lied on it.
I know
You
it
lied
came
on a state document. We
right.
gotta take you to jail now.
Well, it came out like that, but what I meant was obviously that's not the problem, right? It was like it doesn't matter what you write on your license, but it was more that I was like, though, this is a problem for me. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Um, and I also got into this, body positivity, which is great.
Hmm.
And also, oh, am I not? I was like very much embracing getting bigger. I just didn't realize how much bigger I was getting, you know?
Yep.
And the real problem was, though, my habits weren't very good. So it was just a manifestation of what I was doing that wasn't great, you know?
Yep.
Um, and so I took my what I learned from, the Healthy Boundaries course, and I said, okay, what are my values? And how can I honor my values in this situation? Like, what would that look like? And I thought reducing, like, starting with food probably wouldn't be that good right now, except to focus on, like, maybe not focus on eating less, but focus on eating more nutritiously, like less. I was, I was falling into the trap of like, oh, there's these chips called Siete chips that are like healthy chips or whatever. They're not,
Hmm.
whatever. I was just eating way too much of that. That's not,
Yep.
like, I know better, right? Like, come on, what are you doing? It's okay. It's fine. So it's like maybe not eating a bag of those like every 2 days would be a good idea.
Right. Right. Okay.
We're being honest, right? But I didn't start with that. I was like, let me start with something else. Let me go back to strength training for real, like
Yep.
consistent strength training. Um, and at the time, it was just getting into the gym 3 times a week and just doing maybe 2 or 3 exercises instead of like what I really wanted to do because I just wasn't I didn't have the capacity or the conditioning to do what I really wanted to do.
Yep.
So it was a long road. It was like took about, so it's probably about a year now since, over a year. No, a year since I like started.
Hmm.
And like I'm back to deadlifting again, which I didn't think I was going to do because I wasn't sure. I didn't want to like push too hard or whatever. And now I'm like, I have strength goals that I didn't think I was going to have again. And it's just been really fun. And I did make my art because I wanted to go, because Randy also talks about how she's like, think of a time in your life that felt really good to you, that you liked what was happening or whatever. I'm not explaining it
Yep.
very well, but what were you doing? Like, what was happening at that time? And so I thought about that and I was like, okay, strength training has always been my jam. That's how I went to strength training. Making
Yep.
art has always been my jam. So I went back into making art. Um, and, since working with Andrew, um, now singing is my jam. So
Hmm.
I'm in a choir, that's been really great for me. So I think when we're looking at, so it's interesting because like I was looking at this from a weight loss perspective of like making art, being in a choir, strength training, and then eventually I did eat less, because if you want to lose weight, unless you have other stuff going on, you
Hmm.
generally do have to eat less than you're currently doing or change
Yeah.
that up a little bit. Um, so I did do that. And it's been pretty fun. So whenever I'm stuck, I'm just like, make art, get strong, make art. you know?
It's it's not a bad that's not a bad t-shirt to put out next, I think. Get
Right?
strong, make art. Just
Yeah.
if you don't, I'm gonna steal it and I'm gonna make t-shirts out of it.
Maybe we
And
should do
my
that.
my art won't be as cool as your art. It won't be a lady deadlifting, that's for sure. It won't.
Well,
If when I do art, my type of art, it never looks like what I say it is.
but I think so I posted something on Instagram that got like 2 likes or something, so whatever. But it's it's one of the things in my sketchbook, and it's like flowers and a rainbow, and it looks like a 5-year-old made it or something.
Hmm.
And I think when we're making art, and you talk about enjoying the process, right? I got it into my head one time, oh, you can't make you can't draw hearts, you can't do flowers, so you have to do something harder and more like, you know, awe-inspiring, like, oh, how did you make that? Or well, that's so cool, or whatever. But why? Like, who cares? Just draw hearts and
Yeah.
flowers and color those. It's so much fun. And, like, you never know. Maybe the thing is, you don't know. You think you know, but you don't. That's why you have to make art, so you can figure stuff out. You don't know. You don't. I'm yelling.
Wow. I think there's the whole part. There's the whole podcast right there. I think is like you're right. Like we don't know. Like we're so certain that we know stuff and that we're convinced that the world's going to turn out a certain way, and if I do this, this will happen, and this thing is happening for this reason. But ultimately, I think I'm with you. We don't really know. It's a good guess, but we need methods of finding out. And for me, my art obviously has been lifting, and I still think
Yeah.
lifting can be art. Like it's beautiful. It's like I don't care if anyone thinks that my art is any good. I like it. Like I
Right.
really like it. It's me expressing myself to the world, and from what I've learned and gathered, and from what Rick Rubin says, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. Like, can you put it out there and just leave it? And if people
Yeah.
engage with it, great, awesome. If they don't, great, awesome. Didn't do it for you anyway. Did it
Right.
for me. I did
Yeah.
it just because I couldn't keep it inside me any longer. If I don't do it, it's going to come out somehow. And I think that's the essence of art, isn't it? It's just got to come out.
Yeah. And, I think sometimes so like when you're making art for you, for expression, for whatever, it's whatever. If you're an artist that's in a contract with a client to make something, then yeah, you have to make it like how they want it, right? Like, you can, so
It's more. It becomes more. At that point, I call that commerce
yeah, I
because you're
mean,
doing something in exchange. It can still be really beautiful and creative and lovely and whatever, but that's commerce.
mhm. And I don't
It would
think,
be so much more interesting if people hired painters and artists and go, hey, I want you to paint me a picture and I want it to look like this, and the artist just goes, maybe. I'm going to paint something. You're going to pay me for it, and it's just going to be whatever comes out. So get ready.
okay. So I knew you were
I
gonna
would
say
love to see that. Yeah.
I knew you were gonna say something like this. So I had so I had a pre-response for something like that. So, okay. So for example, if you're a person who does murals for children's nurseries
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and you love, you know, drawing the Grim Reaper and skulls and whatever and blah blah blah, probably that method of commerce is not the right one for you to do children's nurseries unless they're like a super emo whatever person, like, there's people that may be into that. I don't know. But generally people
Because,
want,
well, emo parents got to send their kids somewhere, right?
right? I mean,
Yep.
that's a very niche department, right? So, I think it's possible as an artist, I think, to find your niche though, and
Hmm.
then maybe somebody, like, you'll have your portfolio and you'll say this is the kind of stuff I do, and the person might be like, oh, actually, yeah, here's money, here's a wall, make something that you like that's in this vibe, and I'm cool with it. But there's just so many, that's what's cool about art, is like you don't know anything. You don't. You're just literally
Hey,
making stuff up out of thin air. It's so cool. And like that's the same thing with lifting too. You're making stuff up. You're making up muscles that weren't there, Like you're building stuff that was not there before. And it's just so cool.
you realize that's everything in life is made up.
Yeah.
Like we are, and so that's I think we get this because of the neuroscience approach. Like I think we understand that everything that we do, whether it's movement or speech or vision or all of the sensories, our emotions, our ability to label anything or create art, is all a creative act.
Hmm.
Like it's not we're not reacting to the world. We're actually creating the world and then trying to find out if we're right. So, that's the whole, yeah. So what you're talking about in terms of a painting or a sculpture or a piece of art, I love it because that is our whole life. So it's just hard for people to get on board with the idea that what I'm seeing right now, I've actually constructed that image in my brain.
Yeah.
It may or may not be 100% accurate.
Yeah. And
Uh,
that's why I like,
and
yeah, go ahead.
and so it's all that, you know how I keep on saying everything's a prediction. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. And that's why
Because we don't know and we need to find out. So go.
you need to just get strong and make some art, then you'll figure stuff out.
Right? Easy.
And I think, strength training can get like a bad rap when people, and I don't want to say do it wrong because that's not exactly what I mean, but when people don't honor their capacity or, their current season of life and they do something that they say is strength training and it doesn't fit with their current season or capacity, they say strength training sucks, or strength training deregulated my nervous system, or strength training ruined this, or my posture sucks because of strength training, or whatever. And I think if you zoom out and look at, first I'd be like, well, what did you do? Well, what were you doing? Like, for how long? Like, how many, whatever. Did you sleep well the night before? Have you been sleeping well? Like, are you eating well enough? Like, all these kind of things. And I think it's just this idea that things are good or bad or whatever. And it's just like,
yeah,
why
that
do we have to do
fixedness
this?
yeah.
So,
Have you ever seen that cup of tea thing about consent?
no.
No. Oh,
No.
maybe that's an Australian thing. That was really cool. It was really, really cool. Just the idea that when you call something one thing once, that it stays that way, but it never does. So it was like the idea that would you like a cup of tea? Just because you've said yes to a cup of tea before doesn't mean you want one now. Just because you wanted a certain type of cup of tea last time doesn't mean you want it this time. And so I think it was a really great analogy for consent for young people. But I thought it was like a really great example of how the world actually works. And sort of that idea that strength training is just one thing, or that one thing is only one thing. I think is very dangerous because it does change depending on context and what's happened before or what's going on at the time. And to say one thing is just one thing. I always I don't know how people. I do know how people can get to it. I just don't like that conclusion that it's like this and it can only be like this.
Yeah, I think I find it like sad, actually. I'm just like, oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like it's like something, like somebody once told me they can't make art because one time their teacher told them how bad they are at art and they should never make anything again, and they just get so angry. It was a guy, like a football player guy. And he just like can't do it. And I thought, oh my God, this is so like sad. Like you haven't even been able to explore you haven't been able to explore anything with this because there's this idea in your head about someone who doesn't know anything probably about art. Because anyone who tells a kid that they're bad at art doesn't know anything about art anyway. I think, in my opinion. Or maybe
I agree. I agree with you.
The bias. I don't know.
No, well, if that's a bias, we share that bias.
I don't know. I just think.
I remember taking Skill and Style with Z Health over in Arizona, and it must have been 3 or 4 stories in a group of 30 people about how they hadn't moved since high school or trained since high school because somebody said something bad about the way they moved or the way they ran or jumped or something. And so it seems like it seems like both of your passions are the areas where people have it beaten out of them really early, and then they
Yeah.
don't play with it as adults.
Right, that is so true. And I love
Mm.
I did work with one guy. He was so cool. Probably still cool. I'm just not in touch with him these days, but
Well, if
uh
he's not in touch with you, he stopped being cool. Like he was only cool by association with you. Like
right, totally.
he borrowed your coolness for a little while.
He's doing cool things. Well, so what was so cool, he was in his 50s, I think, and he had these two kids, and he wanted to learn how to throw a football with his son, and the basics of sports. And it was right after
Mm-hmm.
Skill and Style, and so I was able to teach him how to throw a football with a spin, and he like couldn't believe it. It was so cool. I mean, he could believe it because he had at the time developed this idea that he could learn things. So like
Mm-hmm.
half the battle was won because he knew he could learn it if he had the right teacher, and like and then there was me, the right teacher. So
Oh,
so it was so cool. We got through like almost like we got through every sport he wanted to do, and he was just so good. And now
wow.
he like told me, he's like on my website as a testimonial, but he was like he's doing like circus things now and like gymnastics things now because I taught him how to like move his like he just need to learn how to move things. And I think
Mm.
a lot of maybe not every phys ed teacher or whatever or even coach knows how to coach people who don't know how to move their bodies. It's easy to tell an already
Yeah.
athletic kid, oh, move to the right a little bit. Okay, they move to the right and then they're perfect. It's harder to tell a kid, hey, your right ankle is doing something weird. Just go like this with your right ankle. Like, oh, I don't think a lot of those coaches know that the
No, they
basics
don't.
of mobility and the way your joints and stuff are supposed to move. So literally one of the things I told this guy was, oh, your right ankle is down there. It needs to be up here. And he did it. And like everything changed, like it's pretty wild what can change if
Yeah.
you just change one thing. Um, anyway, so that was really cool. But I do have this story. I don't know if you know this story. Actually about myself. In high school, did I ever tell the story of my friend who told me how ugly I was when I caught this ball in phys ed class?
No.
Okay, so it was like dodgeball or kickball or something, and I caught it, which meant whoever kicked it or whatever was out, and so it was like
Mm-hmm.
good, right? And it was like a hard catch, and I was like, oh yeah, like go me. And my best friend she turns and I'm thinking she's gonna high five me or like whatever. She goes, "Oh my god, you look so ugly catching that." It's like,
How did,
oh yeah,
I have
that was
so many questions. I have like technical questions. How does
mhm.
one look ugly while catching?
Something
Okay.
like that.
How do
Something
in
like
that
that.
in that case, like in my head then, like there must be a stylish way to catch that I'm unaware of. Like is there a way of catching that just makes everybody look Yeah, there you go. I'm wondering how. I think if baseballers paid more attention to how they looked when they caught the ball, more people would watch baseball. Would return to the ballpark. Wow, that left fielder looks amazing when they catch a ball. Look at this, so beautiful. No wonder they play for the Yankees. They look so pretty when they catch. Yeah, I want
Look
maybe
at
athletes should start worrying about that then. Maybe it's a new thing.
Serena Williams though. How much people made fun of her. You know.
Oh
So
gosh, yeah.
it is like totally um whatever to make fun of women's appearance no matter what they're doing, even if they're
Doesn't
amazing
matter.
and
Doesn't matter if you're the
breaking world
greatest all
records.
time at something. Yeah,
Doesn't matter. You're ugly, so you suck.
yeah. Hey, did you see that? Actually, speaking of, did you see that? I put a thing on Facebook the other day about go to my friend's page, PTC headquarters, and just watch the lifting videos there, because
Oh yeah,
Marcos
yeah, yeah.
puts up like the best lifts of all time, like some of the strongest people on the planet.
Hmm.
And the one that I think sometimes he just posts this video because he knows that he's going to get 500 comments of angry men feeling weak,
Yeah,
attacking. And so her name is Jen Smith, and she's like tiny, and the weights that she lifts is just mind blowing, just mind blowing.
yeah.
Like I look at the size of her and go, that shouldn't be possible.
Right.
But she's really good at arching in the bench press, which means that
Mhm.
she has a strong and mobile, healthy back, which makes her better at lifting, right?
Mhm.
So she works hard on flexibility, mobility, strength, and lifts more than everyone. And so in my head, I'm going, well, she's the best at it. She's used all the things that she can do to lift it, and she lifted the most. If you go in the comment section, it is men, just men, going, that looks stupid. She's doing it wrong. She looks ugly. She's not going. And then they'll go on about whether or not they think she's taking drugs, the attractiveness, the
Yeah,
whether they think it's a good lift or not. And I'm going,
yeah.
who the fuck cares? Why do you
Right?
think you get to comment?
Yeah.
Like just sit back and clap and go, yep, I can't do that. She's
Mhm.
awesome.
And I wonder. So
But
so early.
I've never seen. Sorry, that was the point I was about to make. I
Yeah.
forgot the
Mhm.
whole point in the end. And so she'll get, like, all the women will get attacked on looks. All the men will be told that they're doing it wrong as well, because obviously the best of all time, they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Average people on the internet, they're the real experts.
Yeah.
But the men they'll never ever comment on a man's appearance.
Mhm. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how ugly or good a man looks when he's lifting, it won't be commented on, but it will be in the first 5 comments of a female lifting video on the internet.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
Remember we were talking about shame, and I feel like
Yes.
it has something to do with shame somehow. Like I don't know what, but I think when people start to act out so horribly and nastily and cruelly, it has something to
Mm.
do with shame and how
Ah,
they
yeah.
feel about themselves somehow or something. I don't know. Um, but I
Mm.
noticed, like, for me, if I ever think something like, oh, whatever, like I have a thought that I don't particularly want to have. I'm like, where did that come from? That's so horrible. Why am I thinking that? I think it has something to do with how it makes me feel ashamed of something about myself or something like that.
Yeah,
And I'm just
there's a
trying.
lot in that. There's so much in that.
Yeah, and it's like in to make the shame voice go away, poop on somebody else so that you can say,
So that
"Oh,
they
well,"
feel ashamed.
so that
You
they
try
feel
and
ashamed.
yeah,
You're like throwing your shame all
right?
on everyone else. I don't want it. You take it. It's all your fault because you're
Yeah.
ugly.
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
It's, yeah,
so
really. All I like. There's a couple of prominent accounts on Instagram now that go back through the comments. There's this really funny Irish guy that just calls people mean words for saying what they, and so he'll go through the comments on a female lifting video and just highlight the idiots in the comments saying
yeah.
mean things,
Mhm.
and he'll put their picture up next to their comment, and so we're like, oh, she needs to lose weight. She's not attractive at that body weight. And then they'll put up the picture of the guy commenting is like my age and 50 pounds overweight. And you're like, dude, you really describing yourself. So what you said about shame there, like, I think seeing it's just triggering their shame that they're overweight and they don't like it about themselves and they feel ashamed. So I don't like this. You're all the things about me that I don't like. So now I can judge you. I don't have to deal with it in myself. I'm fine. You're the problem. And that, I think that's what shame does. I think that's the point of shame, is to get stuff off us onto other people,
Mhm.
which is why it becomes so disconnecting, so destructive, and really toxic fast.
Yeah, which is why getting strong and making art, just really works. Just really works.
what? So what's the cure for shame?
Oh, getting strong and making art, of course.
There we go. Yeah.
I mean that's
We'll
so
we'll we'll pack
reductionist,
we'll
right?
pack we'll pack it. No, we'll take no, not reductionist at all. We'll leave that bit out. We'll just put this on the internet and go, this is what we got. Just make art, get strong. Here we go. Rules for living.
But it's so funny, I think, because um, I think sometimes why people don't move or make art is because they do feel ashamed about if it's not good, or they don't
Yeah.
move well, or it sucked, or whatever. And being in a quote safe space, where you can do those things and learn to get comfortable with like sucking.
Yeah.
Getting strong and making art is a great way to get comfortable with not being good at stuff.
Yeah, I think that's. Well, I can't speak for art so much, but in terms of strength and seeing people come into gyms, I think that's why people don't come back, because they. What did we get taught? World champion by Friday versus the
Mm,
long term model.
mhm.
Most people going into gyms, they're looking. I think they're looking for a quick fix to that shame spiral, and so because they don't get it, they feel more ashamed. Oh, gyms are terrible places. I'm not going back, and so they go off to something else. But um, in terms of really enjoying the process, even the top level guys that I'm coaching, like guys that go to the Olympics, helping them deal with unhealthy concepts around failure is the biggest part of my job.
Mhm.
Because trying to be good at anything and trying to produce art, trying to produce world class performances, the only thing that you can count on is that you are going to fail. Like whatever you're aiming at, you're going to miss it slightly
Yeah.
or a lot. And so being really comfortable with failure and understanding it as an essential part of the process, and that
Mhm.
it's not shame, and it doesn't mean that you're bad. It just means that you're learning something.
Yeah.
I think that's the big bit in the middle that is so hard to get across to people.
Mhm.
And that's the bit that I just wish I could just pick it up and just install it in their software somehow and go, all right, let's start here. Failure is good. Fail
Yeah.
heaps. Try and fail as much as possible.
Mhm.
Get it all out of your system and then be comfortable with it, because it's fun and it can be beautiful. And quite often the failures are what we like 3 years down the track.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think that's also part of the curse of being a good student that we were talking about. Because
Oh yeah, totally.
when you're
It
so
means you can't fail, can you?
can't fail, never. I mean, it was like even for me, if I got like a 99 on something, it would be like, why didn't you get 100? Or why didn't if you get
Yeah,
100? Why
I've
didn't you
heard.
get 110? Whatever. Um, and I think it's what's not great about that is that I actually don't feel like I learned very much except how to get 100, and that's not really learning. Um,
I gotta tell you, that's at working in universities and being in universities for the last few years. That's pretty much all I ever see is people that have become highly proficient at getting a good grade, and they don't know anything. And
mhm.
unfortunately, the area that I'm teaching, neuroscience, that's that's mostly med students coming through.
Mm,
That's
not good.
doctors that are really good at getting high marks that don't really know anything. So
Yeah.
so technically they're qualified to do everything they do, but they end up learning on the job 10 years later rather than learning at university, because the whole game here is how do I maximize the points.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's
And
just
so I can see why you feel like you never learned anything.
yeah. I mean, one time I remember in high school, my high school was actually a very good high school. Um, and I just got instilled with that from like earlier years. But anyway, I was working on something with a friend and he was like, "Well, what do you think?" And I was like, "I don't see an answer in the textbook." Like I had to like copy it word for word from the textbook. And he was like,
Yep.
"No, like what do you think?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know, blah blah blah." And he was like, "Yeah, okay, that's good. Write that down." And I was like, "I can write what I think."
Wow.
What a concept. That's okay. Like what I think could be right could be a good
Do
answer.
you do you think do you think that happens more with girls than boys?
Mm,
Or is it
I mean, I feel like maybe that's like a cultural thing too. Like I
yeah,
don't
that's
know.
what I mean. Like do is this something that we push on girls more than we push on boys? Like,
Well,
some of those weird 1950s gender differences that we still like to hold on to, how boys are meant to be rebellious and wild, and a good girl just does what she's told and she doesn't
mhm.
question, and that's part of the I think that's a big part of the problem. Is that we have
Yeah, I
this image
mean,
of the good female student just does exactly what she's told and says, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir."
right. It's
And
like
then you get praised for being so compliant.
yeah, I mean that is like the whole good girl thing, right? And I don't know where I saw this, but it was something like women um have autoimmune conditions because they don't aren't able to truly like speak, or some women who have autoimmune conditions have them because they've just been so self-contained for so long and not had an ability to really like be themselves or say what they think or whatever. I'm
Mhm.
like totally messing this up and downplaying it by saying like say what they think. I mean, some women were probably in really horrible situations, and it wasn't just they couldn't say what they think. It was they had to deal with different forms of abuse,
Yep.
because it was safer to deal with the abuse than not. And imagine that. Like, no, don't imagine that. That's terrible.
No,
Um,
don't. But
but
it is surprisingly common.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, right. So, yeah, I think it's definitely, we just want to have control. I mean, I
Humans.
think humans especially like to have control. There's something about controlling women, particularly, I think, through like calling them ugly, like, or, you know, then
Yeah.
if you're, so you attack like their appearance. Then if they're pretty, you attack that they're stupid, and then if they're pretty and smart, then you say, oh, well, they're a moral failure because they don't, you know, do what
Oh,
they're
that's
supposed to.
not. Yeah, that's normally. Oh, but they don't have kids.
They don't have kids,
That's
or they
that's
don't.
normally when that one gets rolled out, isn't it?
Yeah, or whatever,
Yeah.
like take your pick about what you want to accuse a woman of doing. That's horrible. That's just not meeting your
Yeah.
expectations for what she should be doing. Um, so that the world can continue to function how it's currently functioning, which serves you and not many other
Mm,
people.
wow. Yeah. And now,
Whatever.
yeah. Now we're back. We're kind of back to where we started before the call started, isn't it? It's like.
Well, we could go back to just people making fun of of me doing activities. That's fun. Because I do have another story about that, which is pretty funny.
All right. How about we do that? Let's do that story, and then we'll finish up after that story.
Okay, so
We could
another high school.
otherwise we'll end up selling stories all day.
I just didn't want to go to that other stuff. Okay, let's end on this one. This is funny. This is
All
funny.
right.
All right. So another high school gym story. Okay. I'm at lunch talking to my friends, super excited to say that I've been practicing running the mile so that I can
Mm-hmm.
do it really well when we have our mile test, which is, I don't know if you guys do that, but we have everyone has to run a mile freshman year and you get timed or whatever. Um,
See, that's the great bit about being in a Commonwealth country. We don't run miles.
right?
We'd probably do a kilometer, and so we don't have to run that last 600 meters that you guys do. So we're
Oh,
winning.
maybe I should do that then. That's cool.
Oh no! Oh,
Um,
actually, we don't do the mile. We do the 1500. We take 100 meters off it and run that instead. Because yeah, metric wins.
right. I
Anyway,
mean,
that's got nothing to do with anything. So
I mean, it
you're
kind of
learning how
does.
to run a mile.
Yeah. Okay. So so I'm telling my friends about how my dad drove me around the block, however many times we needed to figure out how many times around the block was a mile so that I could practice and do good in my phys ed test. But
Mhm.
actually, I think so looking back, phys ed was obviously it's obvious now it was something I actually cared about being good at, which the other classes I didn't, whatever. Anyway, apparently being good at phys ed is not cool and stupid because this girl was like, you what? You, you, you did what? You practiced a mile? I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh my God, is that? Oh, I guess I'm an idiot because this girl who seems to have authority over what's cool, who's actually not very cool at all, said so, and I guess running a mile is stupid. So I stopped practicing because I felt so stupid. Yeah.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
That's
anyway,
crazy.
but now I'm running a mile and I don't care what anyone says. I'm gonna do it in eight
Does it
minutes.
feel good?
That's my goal. It does.
8 minute, yeah.
I'm gonna do an eight
And your
minute mile.
neck doesn't hurt and everything's fun and
My neck doesn't hurt. I've been doing my vestibular exercises and all my other stuff, and my neck no longer hurts, and I can run. I mean, other stuff hurts because I'm not good
Sure.
at running. I mean, I don't have an injury, but my calves and my legs are just not conditioned, so it's just part of the game.
Nice.
um,
Very
but
nice.
I'm gonna do it, and I don't care, and I'm gonna wear a skirt, and it doesn't matter.
And so the art that you end up creating, these little ladies in the t-shirt that you're wearing now and all that, where if people want to get on board, where can they find you?
Oh, so it's on my website at
Hmm.
theresiadaniel.com, or if you go to my Instagram, there's a link in my bio, as the kids, cool people say.
Link in bio.
Link
I,
in
I like
bio.
I, I like to sound really cool sometimes, and I go, the link is in the spot where you would expect to find links.
Yeah, that
And
place.
that makes me sound really cool because it's like I'm so hip now that I know
See?
that link in bio isn't cool to say.
It's not cool to say. It's so not
Mm.
cool. But what you said was
And
right.
I'm all about being cool. Like, look at me, so cool.
So, it would be cool if you got a sweatshirt. These are actually a midriff, so that'd be even funnier. But
Why would that be funny?
do you wear
Are you
midriff?
are you fat shaming my hairy belly? What are we doing here?
I don't know. Maybe I. Oh, I don't even know what to say. I don't even have a comeback. My head is just all come back for that one. My face hurts. Oh man, it's funny. But yeah, so it's in there. You can find it in there if you like, or message me. I also have these stickers that are very cool. Yeah, little
There we
thing.
go. I love the stickers.
They're
They're
so
great.
cute. You know what? I could send you one if you want. Let me know. Send me your address. Don't do it here.
Just all right. So for everybody listening, my address is, my email is, and my my credit card details are.
Oh, that's funny.
Please don't do that. Um, yeah, I'd love a sticker. I think they're super cool, and chuck them on water bottles and laptops and whatnot. They just, I think they just really, I find them quite joyful when I look at them.
Yeah, I wanted them to. So, all of these ladies, and especially these fitness ladies, I wanted to just celebrate the joy of fitness, and that, fitness can be whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be what someone else says it is. You don't like that.
Absolutely not. It should be get strong and make art.
Get strong, make art, sing in a choir. I don't know. Do whatever you want, man. As long as you're, I mean, not hurting people or being a cruel, mean person.
I
Not
love
not
that.
those.
I love it. Keep singing. Keep deadlifting in skirts. Keep making great art.
Yeah, man. You too.
Cool.